Hey, I am BrettLeeClark, and this is my channel. In today's video, I'm going to break down the top goofs of Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Get your top movie goofs from this goof, eh? If you're new here, hi, I'm Brett, and I make random videos. Anything from top movie goofs, to cooking, to product reviews, to all kinds of stuff. Yeah. If you are new here, I've been doing the Goof series where I break down all the goofs and continuity errors in movies. I've done the Scream franchise and Jurassic Park and Mean Girls and Top Gun, all kinds of movies. And I'm currently working on the Halloween franchise in hopes of getting the franchise completed all of October. So we'll see how it goes. I'm currently on 4, and then I've done 3, 2, and 1 already. So you can go check those out if you want. And I should have 5 up later this week, and so on and so on. I'm a little behind schedule, so hopefully I'll get them all in there. If not, I plan on skipping the Rob Zombies and Halloween Ends and maybe Resurrection and saving those for next year if I'm still doing movie goofs next year. So we'll see how it goes. So subscribe if you're interested in movie goofs. Also in November, I'll be doing lots of cooking videos. I kind of took a break from cooking videos, but now in November for Thanksgiving, I'll be doing all of my Thanksgiving favorites like macaroni and cheese and stuff. So if you like cooking, subscribe for those. I also have a really good ghost story with an actual photo of my grandma's ghost, whole thing, and I have a good UFO story that happened to me when I was a kid. So yeah, once I get like a lot of subscribers, I'll tell those stories, or maybe on a bigger platform, I'll tell those stories. But like right now, I don't want to tell it just yet. Kind of wait so I have a bigger audience, and people can be like, "Oh my God, this is crazy," because it is crazy. I have my grandma's ghost photo. Anyway, so if you want to see that, subscribe, and when I get more subscribers, I'll tell that story. All right, let's get into the goofs of Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Just so you know, not making fun of the movie. This is one of my favorite of the Halloween franchise movies. So yeah, and I grew up watching this hundreds of times. I had a huge crush on Danielle as a kid, so I'm not making fun of the movie. All movies have mistakes, but yeah. I start from the beginning of the movie and I go to the end. And I point out most goofs, not all the goofs, but I point out most of the goofs from start to finish. So in the comments below, you can let me know what goofs I missed and tell me your favorite goof, or tell me what movies goofs you want to see after I finish the Halloween franchise. So from the beginning of Halloween 4, when the ambulance comes pulling up, first thing is on the back of the ambulance, it says Smith Grove. Well, the name of the place is Smith's Grove, aka it should say Smith 'S and then Grove. And actually, if you look on the paramedics' sleeves, on their sleeve, it's spelled correctly. It says Smith's Grove with 'S. So that's the first goof. And then, why is he bandaged? He's been in a coma for 10 years, but he's still bandaged up. Wouldn't that not help your skin heal if you've been bandaged up for 10 years? Like, you can't be that badly burned that you have to constantly be wrapped in bandages for 10 years straight. So there's one little goof there. I get they don't want to show his face and they want to be like more mysterious. So they're like, well, let's put bandages on him. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense that he's still bandaged after 10 years later of being burned. Does that make sense? And then when Michael puts his thumb through his forehead, if you look just for a split second on the right side of the screen, you'll see like this part of the arm pushing, of Michael's arm that's pushing into his head. You'll see like that is a fake arm. I'm guessing that's for the blood, because they like put the arm up to his head and then like pump blood through the thumb to make it look like it was crushing his head. But you can clearly tell it's a fake arm if you look right around here at the bottom right corner of the screen. Yeah, see that? So there you go. So moving on, Jamie's now at her house and they're showing Jamie look at her picture of her mom. First of all, that's like a still shot from part 1. Not sure who had a camera out in the street, but there's a still shot of Jamie Lee Curtis from part 1. And then, when Michael grabs her by the foot and pulls her underneath the bed, and she's clawing at the carpet, if you look, she's clawing at the carpet, and there's claw marks in the carpet, but as soon as she like gets up to run away, the claw marks have disappeared. Man, see that? And then, moving on, when Dr. Loomis and the other doctor are and the doctor's typing on a little typewriter, he types in Michael M. Myers, but just out of like common sense horror movie legend, Michael's middle name is Audrey, which maybe they just weren't sure. That was like a deleted scene from the previous movies. But his name is Michael Audrey Myers, not Michael M. Myers. So when Dr. Loomis is pulling up to the gas station, look at the car. It has 2 headlights on each side, right? Just take note of that. We'll come back to that in a little bit. But just take note of the car, how it looks. So when he parks the car at the gas pump, he parks pretty far past the gas pump, yet in the next shot, the car is like right next to the gas pump. And then as he's walking past the gas pump, if you look at the ground, you will see the shadow of a boom mic in the ground. You see that? Boom mic shadow on the ground. Eh? See that? And then he finds the dead body and he goes running into the diner. Well, as he's passing that ice machine, there's like barrels right there. There's 7 barrels, like barrels / trash cans, all right there next between the ice machine and the door. And he runs past them and he goes inside and he sees Michael and he starts shooting at Michael, and then somehow Michael just vanishes even though he never looks away. Michael's just no longer there. When he runs to the window, you can see a reflection of the cameraman. And then when he runs out the door to try to find Michael, there's no longer 7 trash cans / barrels there. There's only 4 barrels there. You see that? Eh? As he runs out. And then he starts shooting at Michael. Michael's driving off. If you watch his car, right before it explodes, that's a different car. You'll see the headlights are different. So his car he drove up in has 2 headlights on each side. And this car only has one headlight on each side. And also the grille itself is different as well. Eh? You see that? So then, moving on, when Jamie is in the drugstore and she like backs into Michael, if you look, Michael's hands are by his side. Both of his hands are by his side as she backs into him. Yet as soon as she turns around, he now has the mask in both hands and he's putting it on. Even though both hands were by his side and there was no mask at all, now somehow his hands are up and the mask is ready to be put on. Man, you see that? So then, right before they're going trick-or-treating, it's like from the outside looking in, and you can see Rachel sitting on a chair and she gets up to go get Jamie. When she gets up, just for a split second, you can see the reflection of the camera in the window. You see a little reflection in the corner? Yeah? Yeah? Throughout the movie, Dr. Loomis's burn marks change a lot. Sometimes it's like super deep and like really bad looking, and other times it's like there but barely there compared to other times. If you look at Dr. Loomis's face, it like changes drastically from like one shot to the next. So then, moving on to Bucky, when Bucky, the electrician guy, gets electrocuted, right as Michael throws him onto the box and he like falls. If you look at his mustache comes off as he's being electrocuted. Just ever so slightly, just for a split second, this part just like folds off. If you look at it, Bucky getting electrocuted and mustache falls off. So when Dr. Loomis and the cop get Rachel and Jamie and put them in the car, and they back up and they drive off. When they back up, there's a little car parked on the street. And they back up almost into that car and they pull off. That car's headlights are facing the same direction that the car that they're in drives, right? So here's that car's headlights, they back up, and then they go this direction also. But as they're going that direction, now it shows Michael staring at them. But Michael staring at them, you no longer see the headlights of that little car, you see the back of that little car. So Michael's like staring the wrong direction. He should be turned around the other way, facing the other way. So there's one mess up, and as that camera's backing up and showing Michael Myers, if you look off to the left, you can see a crew member making the fog machine, or making the smoke come across the street. If you look far to the left, just for a split second, you see the guy making the fog. So then they go to Kelly's house, or the sheriff's house. They go there, and Rachel throws coffee on Kelly. But when Rachel throws coffee on Kelly, nothing really comes out. Her shirt doesn't get wet, nor does her shirt get stained. She's like, here, have some coffee. And pretty much just throws air on her. So when Michael's coming up the stairs, about to like go for Brady, on both sides of the staircase, there's like a decorative rug or a decorative like blanket hanging on each side of the wall. But for a split second, when they show Michael, you see the front door behind him instead of that blanket. You see that? And then they show the blanket. But for a split second, when he goes after like Brady with the gun, the blanket's not behind him, nor is the wall. It's the front door behind him. And then, as he's like choking Brady, I've always been like, what? Like, why did they just reshoot this? Or like, it didn't make any sense. But as he's like choking Brady, Brady like stops and like spits out the blood and then continues being choked. And it's like, if you're able to like stop and move your neck to like spit, you're not being choked, sir. Sorry, that's not how it works. You can't be like, excuse me, let me just, okay. Like, what? Doesn't make sense. So then, when Jamie and Rachel go running up the stairs to the attic to get away from Michael, they start throwing stuff down the stairs to block his path. They throw, Rachel grabs a couple of suitcases and Jamie grabs a couple of sleeping bags and throw them down the stairs. Yet when Michael comes up the stairs, he moves chairs and boxes out of his way, not suitcases and sleeping bags. So then, when Dr. Loomis and Jamie break into the schoolhouse, the alarm sounds off, right? While they're in the schoolhouse, the alarm stops. Yet when the townspeople show up, pull over, Earl, show up from the outside, you can hear the school alarm still going off. And rewinding just a little bit, when Michael Myers shows up inside and grabs Loomis and throws him, you can see that he has a white hair and a different hair. You see that? So the reason behind that is, I looked into it. So they had ordered like more Captain Kirk masks to try to make it look like the original mask, but they were delivered like all these like weird pink masks with pink hair, and they had those. Plus they were like spray painting them to make them look like Michael Myers as well. And somehow on set, the guy put on the wrong mask, and no one caught it. No film crew, no actors, no one was like, hey, you have white hair / pink hair instead of black hair and brown hair like you're supposed to have. No one caught it. So weird. I don't know how did no one see that? I don't understand. But anyway, moving on. So Jamie and Rachel hop in the truck with the locals and they go driving off. Well, Jamie is sitting on Rachel's right next to the door, the passenger side door. But when they get to the cop and the cop's talking to them, now Jamie is sitting in the middle or on Rachel's left. Yet as soon as they go to the next take, Jamie is now back on Rachel's right. See that? So she goes from her right to her left to her right while riding in the truck. And then when Michael kills all the local guys, if you look, while Michael is on top of the truck, he has broken that light, right? We'll get back to that in a second. But during this whole scene of him like grabbing Rachel's sweater, which we're about to talk about, there's two headlights on top of the truck. The one on the driver's side has now been broken off by Michael laying there, reaching for Rachel. Well, while he's reaching for Rachel and grabbing her sweater, he's like ripping it. Yet in every take, it goes from like ripped to not ripped, ripped to not ripped. Like you see her bra and he's like pulling on it, but then in the next take, it's like back and buttoned again, and he does it again. He never actually rips it, you just hear ripping noises, and he's like pulling on her sweater the whole time. But you never actually hear the rip, you don't actually see the ripping, you just see him pulling on it and hear ripping, yet they never actually show it ripping. Okay? So then he's on top of that roof, and there's two headlights up there on top of the car, and he's broken off the driver's side headlight, like the top of the car headlight. The floodlights that they're called? No. He's on top of the car, those lights on top of the truck, he has broken off the driver's side one by laying on it while reaching for her. Yet when he goes flying off, and she goes to run him over, the headlight is now back up top, aiming normal. See that? So it goes from broken to not broken. Okay. So then, when they are like shooting Michael, he's about to fall into that pit. Watch the guy on the far left. The guy on the far left has dynamite, and he's like, he lights it. Every time they show the guy shooting guns, he's like relighting the dynamite stick. He like shows the guy shooting guns, lighting dynamite stick, shows Michael, and then it shows him again, and now he has a shotgun, and he's putting a shotgun down. So I'm not sure what happened to the dynamite, not sure what he did with that, but he no longer is holding it, nor did he throw it at Michael, and now he has a shotgun, so they might want to watch out. And then, coming in last place, after Jamie stabbed her mom with a pair of scissors, and she's holding him at the top of the stairs, and here comes Dr. Loomis, he's like, oh God. Right before Loomis comes up the stairs, you'll see there's two pumpkins on that windowsill at the bottom of the stairs. And you can see both of their faces. Yet, in the next shot of Loomis, the taller, bigger pumpkin on the left side of the screen is now turned and facing the other direction. You can no longer see the pumpkin's face. So there you go. The very last shot is a messed up pumpkin. Okay? Goof in the last shot of the movie. There you go. Alright, so that's my top goofs of Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers. Did you guys have fun? If so, comment below and let me know which goofs I missed. What goof was your favorite, or what movies goofs you want to see next, and maybe I'll do that one in November. You also can follow me on Instagram, BrettLeeClark. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say, so I hope you have a good day.